Hey, everybody. Welcome to True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. I'm Kristi Brower, here with my co host, sister, and partner in crime, Katie Weaver. Hey, Katie.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Good. We've had some fun Easter festivities and
We have.
gotten a little too much sun again this weekend.
Yeah, you
Uh,
especially.
yes, and I am trying to wear, I've worn sunblock, but I'm pretty red.
It's the time of year when
Mhm.
Idaho is weird, but we're at a weird angle to the sun where we are because we're high elevation. So we
Yeah.
kind of go from getting no sun to getting way too much sun really
Mhm.
fast. And we have a tendency to then overdo it quickly, huh?
Yeah. Yikes. I know. This forehead, good God. Well, it'll get better, but
It will. It will. Yeah, but we definitely had some fun this weekend, but we
yes.
we need to, get our act together because we need to get our shows out for you guys this week. So this is our Monday show,
Yeah.
and this is a cold read for Katie. And this is the case of the missing woman, Wendy Kahn. So let me tell you a little bit about Wendy. Wendy went missing around June 1st of 2018.
Okay.
So on May 31st of 2018, she and her daughter had met up and done some things together. Her daughter Aneisah, sorry, you want to say it right? Aneisah, and they had been out doing some stuff together, and then they went back to Wendy's house, and they were sitting on the couch visiting when Wendy's boyfriend, Mohammed Bilal Chongtai, I guess, I hope I'm saying that right, came home and he told Aneisah that she had to leave immediately or he was calling the police. So there were some real tensions there. And obviously, mom, boyfriend and daughter didn't get along.
Yeah.
There were some things said later on that Aneisah and Wendy were considering getting a townhouse together. So there were some thoughts that she was going to be leaving him,
Hmm.
but we're not really sure. Other than, he didn't even want her present in his home.
Yeah.
So that day, May 31st, 2018, mom drives Aneisah home
Okay.
and they do talk on the phone the next day. They talk and they text on the phone the next day. Aneisah says, Mom seems fine, doesn't seem like there's anything off. And then the next day, so that was June 1st. So then June 2nd, mom's phone goes straight to voicemail when Aneisah calls to check in with her. And it seems like they talk every day, they're close.
Hmm.
Seems like Aneisah was worried
Well,
about
as
her.
close as they can be with a boyfriend situation like that.
Right. So she's pretty concerned.
Mhm.
So after 2 days of not being able to reach her mom, she and her dad, who is Wendy's ex-husband, they go to the police in Mankato and they report her missing
Mhm.
because this is just not like her at
Yeah.
all. The police go and they talk to the boyfriend. He says he thinks she ran off with another man.
Oh God.
Her car is gone. It's not at the house. They don't know where it is. And the only other things that she had taken with her were her purse and cell phone. So 6 days after she went missing, her car is found sitting behind a CVS pharmacy, which is a CVS that she used to go to fill her prescriptions, and one of the tires is slashed. And that is literally all that is known about Wendy Kahn. They
Wow.
never really look at the boyfriend as a suspect. The home was never searched forensically. Like the police went there, they didn't see anything that looked like foul play, but again, wasn't searched forensically. And not long after Wendy goes missing, the boyfriend sells the house and disappears. He literally left his car and cell phone behind. He had some money coming to him upon the sale of the house. He never picked it up. He just disappeared into the wind.
Wow.
And this was now, well, 2.5 years ago. So here is a missing poster with Wendy with some pictures of her boyfriend, Muhammad. Because they're, I mean, obviously people are like, well, we think you did something to her, but there was never any evidence of anything. But there was so little investigation done by the police. I mean, they basically
Mhm.
went and asked him and he said, I don't know. And that was it.
And that
Like
was it.
they really didn't do anything. And for the last 2 years on the anniversary of her going missing, the police put out a little statement about how her case is still active and they're working on finding her, but they haven't had any new leads. It's just like
Mhm.
that, we're going to make an excuse. We're going to come on here and pat everybody's hand and let them know that we're trying real hard, except we're not trying real hard. They're not. They're not even looking for her really.
No.
And they let him just completely disappear into the wind.
Mhm.
Nobody knows where he went. And he just left everything behind. Like, I mean, he just dropped his whole life and disappeared.
Wow.
Um, so let me think if there's anything else I haven't told you. I think that's very close
God,
to
her poor daughter.
her poor daughter is absolutely heartbroken and cannot understand why this was never,
Yeah.
pursued further. Her phone was not used past June 2nd, and she has not accessed her bank account since May 30th of 2018.
Oh, yeah.
So there was no question really that it's not like she just ran off.
No.
Also, Chugtai, her boyfriend, he had misdemeanor convictions for domestic assault, stalking, and violating a restraining order.
Oh, well, duh. Big surprise.
And he
Yeah.
apparent right. And he apparently actually had warrants out for his arrest when he disappeared.
Wow.
Some of those he had 2 active warrants for
That's so
stalking.
funny because my first take on him and his disappearance is, man, he had gotten extremely paranoid. Well, for good reason, apparently.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had. Well, yeah, stalking and violating a restraining order, and these things were against his ex-wife. There were
Mhm.
never any charges against Wendy, although Wendy had reported to her daughter some domestic abuse.
Mhm.
And it does appear that there may have been a plan of some sort to get Wendy out of this situation, that she and the daughter were
Mhm.
looking at moving in together, and,
Mhm.
maybe he had figured that out, but it's
Mhm. Well,
it's not really
she had
known.
told him. She
Yeah,
had told him.
yeah. So this is Wendy. So she was 46 when she went missing. She's 5'5". She weighs, I don't know, I've seen 160 to 180 pounds, red hair, green eyes. So this is in Mankato, Minnesota. And there are a lot of people that are really frustrated about this case because of how little the police have focused on it.
Mhm.
They just don't seem to have put any energy into it.
Right.
So I would like us to take a short break. And when we come back, let's hear your read on what you think happened to Wendy, where
Okay.
she is, and anything that we might have that could help us in this situation.
Okay.
Okay, we will be right back. And we're back. Thanks for joining us. We are talking about the Wendy Kahn missing case. She's missing out of Mankato, Minnesota. And we have given the circumstances of the case to Katie. And now, Katie, if you would take a moment and give us your cold read. What do you think happened to Wendy Kahn?
All right. So I feel like after boyfriend came home and threatened to call the police on her daughter and that ridiculous stuff.
Mhm.
That after she took the daughter home, that she came back and she told him that she was thinking about getting her own place. I
Okay.
feel like she had just kinda hit the wall with him and went, "This is just not." I actually feel like she was feeling like her daughter really needed her to do that, that she needed her mom, and that this was just she had had enough, you
Mm,
know? And I don't really feel like Wendy was much of a fighter, you know? I feel like she was very gentle,
mm,
and when there would be instances and issues like this with him, she would really try to just, kinda talk him down and
mhm.
but I feel like she had really kind of had enough and had
Sure.
told him, we're really I'm really thinking about moving out and taking some I keep hearing the same phrase, this cooling off time
Mm,
that she told him we need some cooling off time.
mhm,
Um, but of course, hadn't really taken action on that. I feel like she maybe felt like she needed to get a little more money together or needed the timing to be right to put that together with her daughter. But she had told him that that was a thought she was having because she just felt like her daughter really needed her right now. It
mhm.
wasn't really about them. She didn't make it about them because, and his behavior, because that didn't, bode well, because then it just
Right.
freaked out. I feel like he met her at the pharmacy. I feel like he met her and convinced her to get into his car and talk to him. I
Mhm.
don't feel like the tire was slashed because of him. I feel like that was just secondary.
Ah, okay.
That was just
Just
vandalism
happened
or
when the car was sitting there?
yeah, I don't even think he did it at all, actually. I feel like he pulled up alongside of her while she was right there and asked her to, stop her car and park it and get in with him so that they could talk. And I feel like he killed her in his car. I feel like he drove a ways away with her. I do feel like she's in some body of water.
Okay.
I feel like he waited until it was dark, and I think he drove her around for quite a while, fighting and not, refusing to let her out of the car.
Mhm.
He is a very paranoid person, and
Okay.
his the ex-wife situation. I mean, the legal stuff, but just did not. That's not even it. It's the emotional stuff around the ex-wife and her finally
Mhm.
having an ass full of his bullshit and getting
Mhm.
away from him. Now the same thing is happening with Wendy, and he just can't bear it. Like, he is not or was not, emotionally well. He was
Okay.
emotionally very unwell, actually, but
Mhm.
I feel like he drove her around until it got dark and that he took her into a bit of a more wooded area, but I do feel like he killed her either in or right next to his car and disposed of her body in a body of water. I would be
Okay.
interested to know what body of water is around that area that is really
Mhm.
fast moving,
Mm.
because wherever he put her, it was in water that she got pulled a long ways fast.
Ah, okay. So a river, not a lake.
Yeah, yeah, I would say a river. Something that's big and deep and moves quick.
Okay.
I don't have a name, sorry, I wish I
Mhm.
did. But I do feel like that's what happened. So what happened to him? So with him, he got more and more and more paranoid,
Yeah.
and he had these legal things coming up, and he had the police knocking on his door. I do think that there had been, I don't wanna say harassment, but there had been maybe some contact with her daughter and ex and friends, people that were asking him, or even driving past the house. I see him sitting in the window, seeing people driving past, and he's convinced that they're all coming after him. I feel
Mhm.
like he got more and more and more convinced that he was about to be arrested for this. I feel like he committed suicide.
Really?
I do. I don't think he fled. I think he killed himself.
Wow.
Yeah. And I kind of wonder if he did it, in a similar way to how he killed her, because they haven't found his body either. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's living. I feel like
Because he left his car behind.
right,
Like, he
right.
left everything.
He left everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I honestly, that makes a lot of sense because he
yeah,
didn't even pick up the money due to him from the sale of the
right.
house.
Yeah. No, and this wasn't a fleeing to, get a new identity, start a new life. He would have taken his cash, he would have taken money with him.
Right,
But
his
he
phone,
was
his
mentally
car.
unwell when he killed her. And then that haunted him and haunted him and haunted him until he finally went ahead and offed himself.
Wow.
I'm sad that neither of their bodies have turned up.
Mhm,
I feel like when they do, or if they do, though, they'll be a long ways from where they started.
mhm,
I don't know that they ever will, unfortunately. I feel
mhm.
like so often when bodies are disposed of in water like this, the conditions have to be just perfect,
Right, right.
especially when we're talking about rivers and things that have a lot of underbrush and things, a lot of scrub and deep stuff that they can get stuck on. And
Yeah,
anyway, I'm not an expert in that by any stretch, and I wish I understood it better. But it does seem like so often when we see these guys, the bodies that are disposed of like this, they don't ever surface.
right.
Occasionally they do, which is wonderful for
They
their
get hung
families,
up in
but
something underneath, under
mhm.
the water, and they don't come up. Yeah,
Right, and over time, they're just eroded to nothing, or I don't know. It's
yeah,
awful. It's
yeah.
awful to think about, but
Mhm.
at any rate, she didn't abandon her family. She didn't flee and just take off, and
No,
she didn't do any of those things. She was murdered. She would never have left her daughter, ever.
no. Yeah, I had that very strongly as well, that she wouldn't have left her behind.
Mm-mm.
She loved her very much.
Absolutely. Yeah, and other friends and family too. I mean, she had a life,
She did.
and but she was ready to be done with him. She'd had enough. But again, the paranoia and
Yeah.
the mental illness in him, I think, it was coming across as just being domestic violence, illness, maybe narcissism. And I'm sure it was all of those things, but I think it ran even deeper than that.
Mhm.
And he just got increasingly more dangerous.
Sure.
But there's no way in hell he was going to go through getting left twice. He just
Right.
couldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Profoundly
agree.
sad for her family.
Very, very, but thank you for that because maybe that can give a little closure, about what happened and, you know, we can certainly hope that their bodies turn up
Yes.
to give an answer at the end, and
Yeah.
I genuinely hope for Wendy's daughter that that happens because I can't
Yes.
imagine this just not knowing.
Oh, I can't either. That's awful. It's hard enough to lose your mom, but to lose your
Right,
mom in a way where you don't know what happened to her,
right.
and that the person who is responsible is never brought to justice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and in this case, isn't gonna be. I guess he kind
Yeah.
of brought himself to justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Well, and
thank you for that read.
unfortunately, I mean, the police definitely could have dug deeper. I mean, they could have taken him in and questioned him and
Oh,
tracked
I don't
his
know.
steps. I mean,
Maybe searched his car, maybe
yeah.
actually, like, forensically searched the house. They
Mhm.
didn't do any of those things. It's just so strange to me why this
Well,
happens. I just
it just goes to show how often our law enforcement is allowed to pick and choose the
yeah,
cases that they actually care about. We've seen
it's
way too
true.
much of that. And to
Yeah,
be honest, before you and I started are doing this level of true crime work, I had no idea.
no.
I thought
But
anytime.
so many cases go just completely ignored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
know, me
families are
too.
just at the mercy of finding someone to help them. I am
Yeah,
dumbfounded about all of it.
yeah, me too. Agreed. Alright, well, thank you very much for that.
You bet.
Today is our Monday show, so we do still
Mhm.
have cases coming on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes.
On our shared case this week, we're gonna tell you about an Idaho serial killer who's been on death row twice.
Yeah.
Did
How
you
does
even
one
know
get
that
on
was
death row
possible?
twice? Yeah, we'll tell you all about it. It's interesting.
Can't wait, that's gonna be a great one. And then, of course, we'll be back Wednesday night with our Wednesday night case update at 7 p.m.
Mhm.
Mountain Time, and Thursday night with the Psychic Hour. That's also at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So then on Friday, Saturday, we tend to just pop up with a quick little
Yeah.
um, live stream of
Yeah.
some, interesting or wacky true crime stories. We've been having fun with the wacky ones lately, so
Mhm.
you can find
Well,
us in
we have some pretty heavy subject matter up in here, so it's kinda
yeah,
nice sometimes to lighten it up.
yeah, we like to do the fun ones too and the funny ones.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're listening to us on a podcast, just know we are also on YouTube. And so you can watch our shows rather than listen to them if you like that. We're True Crime Paranormal on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube and would really like to listen in a podcast, just go find your very favorite podcast app and look for True
Mhm.
Crime Paranormal because guess what? We're there too.
You bet.
We're everywhere, you guys. Or at least we try to be. Let me just say. Let
That's
me just
right.
Yeah, you can also join us in the conversation about true crime and what's going on in our Facebook group. So if you go to Facebook, you can find our fan page, which is True Crime Paranormal. And then we have the True Crime Paranormal podcast discussion group that is linked to that page. And we share a lot of things in there. And that's where our Facebook live streams go. And we just like to hear from you guys about what do you think
Yeah.
about what we do here. Also, if you would like to recommend a case to us, we love that. This was a
Mhm.
listener suggested case. Thank you. Just go to truecrimeparanormalpodcast.com, and down at the bottom of the page, there's a little form you can fill out to send us a case suggestion. And we love those.
Yeah.
We go through them all the time and try to hit on those quite regularly because we
Mhm.
know you are junkies out there when it comes to true crime, and you might
Mhm.
have a case that we've never heard of, like Wendy
Like this
Kahn.
one. Yeah.
So we appreciate it
Yep.
very much. Yeah. Well,
Alrighty.
you guys know it. We are True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. Thanks for listening.
Take care.